All right, let's do some shooting. Got 8-inch steel plates hanging at 10, 20, 30, 40, and 50 yards. Looks like we got a shooter on our hands here today, guys. Ruger P95. You know, I did that Ruger P89 video and called it the 9mm battle tank. Guess I'm gonna have to call this one the 9mm polymer battle tank. Hello guys and gals, Buffalo here. Today we're taking a look at a pistol that is no longer in production, but is still readily available on the used market. The P95 had a production run from 1996 to 2013, and it's just one of those pistols that has an excellent reputation for reliability. There were several variations of this pistol made, including a double action only model, a decocker model, and a safety model. The one I have here today is a P95 PR, which has the safety, some people call it a safety decocker. When you put the pistol on safe, it decocks the pistol and remains in safe until you manually put it on fire. Now, these were made from 2005 to 2013, and in addition to the Picatinny rail, which is what the PR stands for, by the way, it also got an updated grip texture and a rounded trigger guard. The Ruger P95 is a polymer frame pistol with a standard capacity of 15+1. Now, if you bought yours prior to the expiration of the Clinton assault weapons ban, it would have shipped with 10-round magazines instead of 15-round magazines, regardless of what state you lived in. As silly as that sounds today, that was the law of the land for 10 years, from 94 to 04. And this pistol, of course, lived its life through a large chunk of that. It is a bulky, chunky feeling pistol that, at least in my opinion, would be best utilized as a nightstand gun, a range gun, or a truck gun, something along those lines. Heck, it would make a good outdoorsman's gun or camp gun. But like I say, in my opinion, it's a little bit bulky for concealed carry. There's a lot better options out there for concealed carry these days, but this gun can still play a role in your defensive setup. This gun is very well balanced. It has a nice feel to it. It has a 3.9-inch barrel. It is 5 3/4 inches tall, 7 1/4 inches long, weighs in at 1.6 pounds. Of course, it does have the ambidextrous safety decocker there, and the magazine release is also ambidextrous. Can be worked on either side. Now, the magazine release is a little bit different. Instead of just pushing in on the magazine release, you have to push forward. But I haven't had any trouble adjusting to it. It's in the proper location, right where you'd expect it to be. It comes with a set of 3-dot sights, with the rear sight being driftable to make your windage adjustments. Now, this pistol does have a little bit of an aftermarket following. You can get aftermarket sights and holsters and things like that are pretty easy to find for it. So that's a positive when it comes to buying a used gun that's no longer in production. All right, so the trigger pull in double action is long and heavy, as to be expected. Check it here with the gauge. Getting around 10 pounds, 10 pounds 1 ounce. Now, it is a true double action, meaning it does have second strike capabilities. People make a lot out of that nowadays, but these old double actions, you know, they've had that for quite some time. The single action pull is much better. It does have some noticeable creep. Let's see what it pulls. All right, I come to a wall there. Creeping. Broke at 4 pounds, 1.6 ounces. I'm sure you probably can't see that from here, but that's what it broke at. So it's not a trigger you know, you're going to go around town bragging about. Not that you would do that about triggers, but it's also not a horrible trigger. It's a decent trigger, it gets the job done, and I find it easy enough to shoot. So let's do some shooting. All right, so I've got a couple magazines loaded up with this Federal 115 grain FMJ round nose. That opening sequence on this video, I was shooting the Federal aluminum case, and I've shot some other stuff out of this too, some hollow points and stuff. Haven't done like I haven't put 1,000 rounds through it or anything, but I've probably put 300 to 400 rounds through it. Haven't had any problems whatsoever. If it does mess up, hopefully it does right here on camera so you guys can see it. I'm only at about 20 yards here to the targets, so shouldn't be an issue. I loaded one mag up. I thought I had both mags loaded up. Anyway, we'll shoot this mag through it. Now, if you were going to carry this pistol, you would decock it on that first round. So your first shot, and that's how a safety decocker works. When you put it on safe, the gun is decocked. So now you have to take it off of safe, and your first round is going to be in double action. So it doesn't have a cocked and locked option as far as carrying this pistol. But the triggers, it's not that bad. Now we'll go into reset here, single action. So shoots, you know, it shoots pretty good for a $300 pistol, and that's about what they run on the used market. All right, so this time I've got us 2 magazines loaded up. Starting to get a feel for the pistol this morning. Let's see. All right. We'll shoot that little one over here. Be a little bit more of a challenge. Yeah. Getting a little bit ahead of myself there. So we'll shoot this whole box of ammo here. Let's try something different. Jump over to the GoPro camera here and give a little different point of view. I'm just shooting target ammo as I mentioned earlier, but you can shoot plus P in these pistols. This is straight from Ruger's website on their frequently asked questions page. All right, so she's getting warmed up. Now this is the stainless steel version. They did offer these also in the blued version. $15-round magazine goes through pretty quick. There's that magazine release I was telling you about. It is ambi, and you push it forward. The magazine's drop free. So, and really I don't notice that I'm pushing it forward. It's like I'm reaching to press it, and it goes forward. So just something a little different there. Let's try to shoot that little fella again. I was having a little trouble hitting him earlier. Too much fun right there. All right, so takedown of the Ruger P95 is fairly simple and straightforward. First of all, we'll remove our magazine, check our chamber, make sure we're clear. We don't have any ammunition around us here on the table, so we're good to go as far as that goes. First thing you'll want to do, lock your slide back. Look into the ejection port. You'll see your ejector at the rear of the ejection port sticking out that way. Push it down into the magazine well. Now at this point, you want to grab the slide and pull it back just a little bit and reach around on the back side of the pistol and push out on your slide stop lever. We'll go ahead and pull it all the way out. At this point, your slide will just come right off the pistol. You got your recoil spring assembly, and that is a steel guide rod and dual springs there. Got your barrel, that's that 3.9-inch barrel I was talking about earlier. And that's, you know, your basic field strip. You can take them down farther and clean your firing pin and all that stuff, but I'm just doing a basic field strip here. Something unusual about the Ruger P95 is it rides directly on the polymer rails. It doesn't have steel inserts where the rails are, like most other pistols. Now this is a tough polymer. It's a fiberglass reinforced polymer, and I've never heard of anybody having any issues with those rails, those guide rails there. Just something a little bit different. Thought I'd show you that while I had it apart. Everything goes back together, just the opposite of the way we took it down. Put your barrel in, your guide rod recoil spring assembly, center everything up good. Now, you want to keep your ejector in the down position. Notice it had popped back up there. Make sure, and that if you couldn't see it when I had the slide on the pistol, that's what I'm talking about when I say your ejector. Just push it forward and down into the mag well. Make sure it stays there while you put the gun back together. Pull the slide, well, of course the slide will go right on now. Pull it back until the slots line up. Push your slide stop lever back in, click it home. This pistol is ready to run again. So my hands are dirty, this pistol's dirty. I've been shooting it, shot about 400 rounds through it this weekend, so been shooting it a little bit, needs a good cleaning, but there you go, that's the takedown. All right guys, so I guess in closing out this video, I would just say that just because Ruger discontinued the P series in favor of the SR series, doesn't mean we have to discontinue using them. In addition to a nightstand gun or truck gun or range gun, as I mentioned earlier, this is a great gun to introduce new shooters to center fire pistols. So if they're already shooting 22 and you want to step them up to center fire, this is a great option. It's one of the softest shooting 9mm you can get. When you shoot this thing, it doesn't feel like it's going to, you know, 9mm is not a real, you know, hard punching cartridge anyway, but in some of these really light pistols, it can be quite snappy. With this pistol, it's just as smooth as can be. That slide just rides back and forth, and you can watch it. So the sights don't jump out and you lose your sight picture. You know, I'm sure some of you guys know what I'm talking about there, but just a good old beater pistol. So, you know, can't really think of a whole lot more to say about it. So I'm going to close it out with that. That's all I got today, guys, and I'll talk with y'all again soon.